DeMeco Ryans met with the media yesterday, the old Wednesday press conference where we turn the page, start to look ahead. Here is DeMeco Ryans on the guy that makes the whole engine run for the Patriots, quarterback Drake May.
I think Drake is doing a really good job of not making bad decisions with the football. He's doing a really good job of utilizing, where his playmakers are open. He's getting those guys to football, and I think Josh is calling it really well for him to give him, easy plays to make good decisions. And where he's taking that next step is his ability to escape the pocket. I think it's really doesn't get talked about much, but his athletic ability, his ability to escape the pocket, has been really clutch for them. He's made some big runs to really hurt a lot of defenses, so we have to be conscious of that. But he's making good decisions, good young player, has a really bright future, can throw the ball at all three levels of the field very well. So they do a good job around him. I think it helps first and foremost with how they run the football. They do a really good job of staying committed to the run game, mixing up their personnel groupings, giving you a lot of different looks, a lot of different runs, and they play physical up front. So they're going to make you, stop the run first, and then you have a quarterback who can drop back, and he can go through his progressions really well and make good decisions with the ball. So it's a really well-coached unit, I would say. You watch the tape, that's what I see. Very disciplined. Those guys execute really well.
Let me guess what you're about to say.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Patriots fans are going to interpret that as shade.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No,
all right,
no.
All right.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong, but no. I think
that very first part of it especially. There's going to be a 10-second clip of that, and be like, yeah, he's done a good job taking care of the football.
Yeah.
And, doing not making mistakes. And
make
then
him sound like a game manager kind of thing.
He ends up gushing more about Josh McDaniels than he does Drake May.
Those are great observations. That wasn't what I was going to say.
That's my impression of watching the Patriots this year. I'm more worried about Josh McDaniels than Drake May.
Yeah. So no, what jumped out at me among many things there was when he said, not a lot of people. This is proof, I think, Seth, that DeMeco does not hear the outside noise, doesn't pay attention to social media or talk radio or anything.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are talking about how he can escape the pocket and use his legs. I'm like, everybody's talking about that. What are you talking about, DeMeco? That's all we've been talking about the last 2 days.
Honestly, though, and I say this because I'm not criticizing the broadcasters themselves, because I don't think when the broadcasters say something that's kind of low-key, race-based, when they'll say, like Trevor Lawrence, he can run, it's not because the broadcaster himself has some bias against black or white quarterbacks. It's that he still assumes other people do.
Oh.
So I think when you hear people say that about hey, now Drake May, he can run, it's that they feel like, all right, there's a lot of people out there that are going to be like, what's big honky going to do? So they're not. They understand that there's still probably a lingering perception that the white guy can't run.
So what they're saying in parentheses here is, hey, look, I'm not racist, but I know a lot of you out there are. And Trevor Lawrence can really move.
Well, and realistically, though, too, we're at a stage in the NFL now where it's what you need to point out in a broadcast is the quarterback who can't run. Because who the hell is playing quarterback now who's under the age of 30 who can't run? They're all capable of hurting you with their legs.
And we know CJ is when he chooses to do it. We're going to get back to DeMeco here, but I'm glad you brought this up. CJ has got to, whatever is floating through his head right now about running the football, or I should say not running the football, he's got to get it out of his head and use his legs, man.
That's where we've grown as a society, because you'll hear that in the broadcast too.
Yeah,
people saying, he can run,
right?
So we found a good balance there.
Yeah,
because I think that this is where, when we were talking about yesterday at the toss, okay, what advice would you give to CJ about getting past the issues they had with the snap and everything? And we had a chat about that. I honestly think my advice for CJ at this point, to really unlock playoff CJ and some of the really good things he's done in the playoffs. Last year especially, one of those things was running the football and just taking that easy yardage when it's there. He's got to go out there and in the first series, you run the ball, pull it down and run. If it's there, take it, get it, go. I know he said that he doesn't think at all about it with concussions or anything, but man, In that Steelers game, there were times where he was trying to make something happen with his arm when he could have easily just done it with his legs.
It's too big a sample size now since he came back from the concussion to ignore.
Yeah.
He's not running the football at all.
Right. And
he was running it a lot before that.
So when it comes down to the physical element of the game, this is the same advice you give to any defensive player. Or like a lot of players, a lot of non-quarterbacks will tell you. I felt this way myself. I didn't really feel good in a game unless I'd had a big collision. And you just want to get that big collision going, get all the endorphins rolling through your blood, and you get to that point where you feel no pain. I just want to bash somebody.
Right.
As soon as possible in a football game, I want to bash somebody.
Yep.
For CJ, as soon as possible in this game, pull the ball freaking down and go.
I agree.
And aside from just getting over whatever hurdle there might be psychologically with it, it helps you immediately in terms of putting that doubt in the minds of the defense and giving them one more thing to worry about. The Texans defense is going to go into the game knowing that they got to worry about Drake May and his legs. And they know it's like they are very much aware of that. And I don't think the Patriots defense is going to have to feel that way. I think it's a wait and see. Like, all right, if he does decide to pull it down eventually, we'll worry about it. But, man, the guy doesn't look like he wants to run right now. 29
carries for 189 yards before he got concussed.
Yeah.
That's about 6.5 yards a carry. And that's in 8 games. In the 6 games since he's come back, 19 carries for 20 yards. And some of those carries are kneel downs at the end of games. They're 6-0 in those 6 games. And so they're taking knees at the end of a few of these games. That is too big a gap to ignore. Not that 29 carries for 189 yards for half a season makes you Lamar Jackson or even Drake May, for that matter. But it does show that you've got that in your bag. You know, if it's there, you can take it. And we saw that with our own eyes. To your point, Seth, going back to the playoffs, I felt like that run he had against the Chargers in the wild card game last year was about a 30-yard run where he was running past guys.
Yeah.
It was almost like Forrest Gump when the braces broke off of his legs.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got magic legs. He ran the ball the rest of that game. He ran the ball in the Kansas City game a bunch of times. He ran the ball a bunch of times to start this season as well. 19 carries for 20 yards ain't going to get it done, man. It's just not going to get it done.
If we talk about the counterpart there, Drake May and his legs, the one thing that I was really encouraged by over the last couple of days in watching Drake May and his runs, it really gave me an appreciation for how disciplined the Texans' pass rush is. And you go back to that Bills game, that was the pinnacle of, man, they just completely bottled up a quarterback who can hurt you with his legs.
Yeah. Sacked
them 8 times. Some of those sacks were when Josh had decided to pull the ball down and run, and all of a sudden a defensive tackle pops up in front of him.
Swallowed it.
They used a spy really effectively in that game, and I think that's going to be the tough thing with Drake May is that he does have more options and weaponry in the passing game than Josh Allen does, and I think that's where like putting a spy on him is dicey because then you weaken yourself in coverage a little bit. I don't think it's not as simple a solution as it is versus Josh Allen. But a lot of these times that Drake May has scrambled effectively, or if he's done it on designed runs, it's with breakdowns in discipline and breakdowns in the contained pass rush. The Texans, they have their moments. We all remember them. We all know them, whether it's Justin Herbert or Bo Nix or Trevor Lawrence or whomever else. But some of these teams that I was watching, including the Chargers last week, man, they had zero discipline on containing him, on keeping a rusher in the middle passing lanes. It was really bad, and they kind of just almost gave it to him. It's not going to – the Texans defense, they'll get got a couple times, but they're not going to just concede it the way the Chargers did.
I agree. Here's DeMeco Ryans flipping over to the other side of the ball. Here's DeMeco Ryans on the Patriots defense.
Starting with the Patriots defense, the thing that they do well is that the 2 interior D tackles, right? You can't talk about their defense without talking about how those guys play. Barmore and Milton, they do an outstanding job. Explosive, physical guys do a great job, run game and passing game. So it starts there with the interior guys, and, they are physical up front. That's one thing I said. They do a great job of setting the edges. You're going to have to earn every yard that you get in the run game. It's not going to tough physical guys at the defensive line spot and at the second level. Those guys play very hard, play very physical. So they make you earn it, which is what you have to go do at this time of year.
So that's, D'Amico obviously is going to speak glowingly about every aspect of the Patriots defense.
Yeah.
The Patriots defense at times this year has looked really good versus the run. At other times, it's been atrocious. And there have been times where they just don't look like they can stop the run at all. Reginald Atatula had a good stat. The Pats have been susceptible to inside zone, allowing 4.8 yards per attempt since week 10 versus inside zone. That's 28th in the league. And that's, by and large, that matches the eyeball test. I think the Chargers game, they did some really good things, and I had to keep reminding myself, oh, yeah, that's that Chargers offensive line. Because, man, that guy, Corey Durden, the nose tackle, was just manhandling dudes on the inside.
Right
and that's with a grain of salt. That's the Chargers offensive line. I think the big question, as it always is with the Texans, is really more, all right, consistent pass protection, and can you pick up the blitz?
Yeah.
So the run, I think they're going to be able to. I don't know if it's going to be 164 yards rushing like it was versus the Steelers. I do think they're going to be able to run the ball as long as they go out and play like they did last week. The big test, though, is in the passing game and in the run game. The Patriots blitzed 50% of the time last week against the pass. And they're a team that doesn't blitz a whole lot. And, that thing talked about earlier, I think the Patriots this year have kind of been able to hold a lot of things in reserve as they face some teams and can beat teams with their normal defense or their normal offense and their normal play calling. They haven't had to call a lot of designed QB runs or anything, with their offense. But I think when it comes to the Patriots defense, all right, they've seen the film. They've seen the stretches of time where the Texans look like they have no answer for the blitz. They've gotten a lot better at it, but you're going to see a hefty dosage of blitz from this Patriots D.
Yep. Kamar Lassiter, they did some open locker room yesterday, the Texans did. I think this was Landry Locker who asked Kamar Lassiter this. Kamar Lassiter is funny, man. He's a piece of work. Landry asked him, which play excites you the most? What kind of play, which one of your teammates is making, excites you the most? Here was Kamar Lassiter's answer.
Seems like y'all kind of feed off each other, the energy. What's the play, if you had to name one, that gets you the most excited as a player on defense?
On defense, I like seeing sacks. I like to see Henry and Z's get TFLs and then they get to crashing out. I love when Petrie shoot the gap. I like when Petrie get picks. I like when CB get picks. I like when Sting makes a tackle because he get the smiling. I like when Sting get picks. I like when I make a big play. I like when I get picks. I like every play defense makes.
They're all tied for first.
Yeah, he's a kid that's got a Christmas list ready to go when he's talking to Santa.
Yeah,
it sounded exactly like the hemming and hawing was just him being polite.
Yeah.
And then he just listed off his whole Christmas wish list. This is what I like the most.
Yeah.
I like that the first thing he said was sacks.
Yeah.
Because, again, this goes back to the complementary side of this defense. Yep. And the thing that I've been most impressed about with them this entire year, where I get jealous of not being able to play on a defense like that, is how unselfish all of them are. Like, they are, it's so rare to find a team with that many playmakers on defense, but who have a genuine unselfishness about them. And then the unselfishness, you start with a certain baseline level of it, and guys are, they might be unselfish dudes and they want to do the right thing. But where it really, really starts to build is when you realize that, oh, we are so good that it's going to come back to me at some point. You get instant karma on this team. Like, hey, I do a really good job in coverage. Defensive end gets a coverage sack. Very next play, Danielle Hunter hits the quarterback and I get an interception on a bad throw, And so, like, the actual reward part of being unselfish, you don't have to be unselfish and then just be comfortable with the fact that you're doing the right thing. Like, no, you're going to be unselfish, and as long as everybody else is unselfish, you're going to end also reaping the personal rewards.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite play that the Texans make routinely?
Oh, anything over the kill zone. Yeah, Rashee Rice. That's I really do.
Mine was too.
Anytime somebody gets murdered over the middle,
It's mine.
and then later on that same guy drops a football.
Yes.
So the Rashee Rice hit was big, but then it was Rashee Rice dropping that ball.
Yeah, man.
In that same football game, an easy reception. Would have gone for 10+ yards.
I like the kill zone. I like the kill zone because I feel like the Texans are the only team in the NFL that has this. There are other teams get sacks, other teams get TFLs. There's plenty of interceptions thrown every Sunday to very talented football players. The Texans kill zone is a very unique thing.
Let me explain this to people who don't know about the glory of the kill zone.
Yeah.
You might hear people talk about, hey, in zone defense, there's going to be soft spots in the defense. Guys are going to get easy receptions there, et cetera, et cetera. Just anywhere inside of 10 yards specifically is what we're talking about here. Or in any defense at all, there's going to be soft spots. What D'Amico says is, no, that's not a soft spot.
Right.
That's a spot that we invite them into.
Yeah.
And then we mow them down.
Yes.
We set our sights and we mow them down.
Yeah, man.
That's what the kill zone is. It's not a soft spot in the defense. You cowards, you wimps. No, it's a kill zone.
Yes.
And we're going to invite them into it and make them pay the toll for entering the kill zone, which is their lives.
It is a bear trap. And
yes.
Open space is the meat in the bear trap. Come on into this space right here.
It
Come
is.
on in, yeah.
It's like a really well-disguised bear trap. There's a nice, some leaves over. Like, look at all this green grass.
Yes.
Put a couple berries on top.
Right.
It's the peanut butter on a rat trap.
There you go. My favorite individual play is, though, Kamari coming up and making a TFL on a guy out in the flat, and then he gets up and he's smacking himself in the head. I love that. That's my favorite individual.
You know what? I've seen a lot of I've seen some kids in college doing that now.
Good.
It's I don't know if Kamari copied it from somebody originally or not, but I feel like Kamari's influence has a lot of it's filtering out into other people.
In the age of concussion awareness, that's what we want. Kids smacking themselves in the head.